We're near South Beach here in Miami, Florida, the site of the Natty Light Championship. But for us, it's a rivalry, and tonight it's a big one. There's a lot at stake as the Florida Gators look to remain unbeaten. And the Miami Hurricanes sitting at 3-1, looking to notch another win in conference. This is a game that can have massive playoff implications down the stretch. I'm David Roy, and my broadcast partner tonight, Mike Peters. And Mike, both teams come into this, the series between them, Florida's got a 2-1 advantage, but more often than not, these games are close.
Well, they are, and they're usually decided by the home team, and that's going to play a little bit into it as Miami starting off with a nice return there. But, you know, home teams won every game, and Miami wants to win this one. Florida's undefeated, and Miami would love to hand them their first loss of the season.
Well, we saw an unbeaten team fall already this week. Last night, Clemson lost to Auburn. Miami hoping to do that same thing here tonight against Florida as they will open things up with a run for Marcus Duncan, and he will get 5 yards on the ground.
I think it's going to be important for Miami to establish the run. I mean, they've done it in pretty much every game this season, but they're going to have to air it out a little bit against this defense. The secondary may be the weak spot. They got to test it.
Well, Richardson wanted to throw, and then he'll tuck it and run instead. Gets half the distance needed for a first down, and so a short third down early in the drive for the Hurricanes.
Well, if you're going to have third downs, you want them short. You know, 3 or less is ideally what you're looking for. A good chance here for Miami to extend the drive.
Richardson in the gun, the tight end Owsley in motion as Richardson looks to throw, tries to tuck it and run. Instead, he runs into the wall of humanity on this Florida defensive line.
Well, that's the side you don't want to run to, because not only does Case and Dinwiddie provide contain, he pushes them back inside to Oswald. Oswald gets a sack. If you're going to scramble, it's not the side you want to scramble to. Florida comes up with a good stop there, and they're going to get the ball back. Now they get an opportunity to take the lead on the road.
The early drive for Miami doesn't end the way they'd hoped. 3 plays, and they will punt it off to the Florida Gators as his punt fielded from his own 20. Kellen Irvin spinning through a few tackles, gets out close to the 30. And we saw Mike Florida unleash a very different breed of offense last week.
They aired it out a lot more, and they were a little bit more explosive, and we'll see if they can continue that. They're going to need an offense, an explosive offense, to compete in this SEC.
Bentley Jones gets the carry, gain of 7 on first down.
Well, and I think that's part of what contributed to some of their struggles last season after starting off 3-0 is they play in a lot of these tight games. I think that wears on you as the season goes along. You can be more explosive on an offense. You can create more separation between you and the other team.
Single back set. Tight end in motion into the backfield, and they'll go right back to Jones, who bounces a run that started up the middle, outside to the left, and he'll pick up the first down with another 7 yards.
Well, they're finally using Bentley Jones. He's averaging about 115 yards per game this season. Didn't use him a whole lot last season, but he's been good.
Read option keeper Matthias St. John trying to go outside to the right, and he is stopped immediately as Isaac Kraut comes downhill.
Well, it's not the guy you want hitting your quarterback.
No.
He's mostly known for snatching passes out of the air, but he can lay a wall up and force the ball loose. And if you're Matthias St. John, you need to slide and avoid that guy.
Long second down here for the Florida Gators on the road as they're out their own 44. St. John to throw, floating it to the left side, and a drop pass by the tight end means a long third down is coming.
Not where you want to be. Miami had themselves on a short third down, but they couldn't convert. Now a long third down here for Florida. Can they convert? Can they find a pass deep enough past the marker?
4 wide, trips top the screen. St. John to throw, and he'll go over the middle, and a shot dish down to Malik Harris. He's a yard short of the line to gain.
Well, and again, this is a problem we see a lot, especially with young quarterbacks. And some of these teams, they throw short of the marker. They rely on the receiver to get yards after the catch. Defenses don't let them, and it forces them to punt. Now, the good thing is they can pin them deep here possibly.
Well, decent return by Blaze Gunner as he's able to get it out of his own 20 and gets across to, let's say, the 23-yard line. And so the Hurricanes look to go back to work.
Well, they're going to have to be a little bit more efficient than they were on the last drive. They got to convert on short third downs.
Well, they go with a midline read, and Axon Richardson says, I'll show you a short second down instead.
Well, it's the third carry of the game. Of course, he did get sacked once. but still only got 6 yards. They're going to need him and Marcus Duncan, although it's not going to be easy to get yards, but he's got to throw the ball and stretch out this defense.
Florida looks like they're stacking the box, and they come right through. Wyatt King on the blitz.
You're not. I was going to. Sorry, I was going to say you're not going to beat this team running the ball like they've had success against a lot of others. Now, granted, they're number 3 in the league against the pass, but they're number 2 against the run. And a lot of their success against the pass is because they're forcing long third downs. If you do that, they're going to beat you all night.
Well, they go with a quick pass here as Richardson finds Woodard. He gets 14 yards, and so Miami's able to get their first down of the night.
Well, just a little pass to the outside to give up 14. Again, you don't want to set yourself up in long third downs. They need to establish the run. They're going to win this game throwing the ball, or they're not going to win it.
Play fake. Richardson with time goes over the middle of the field. Caught by Woodard again, and he got popped.
That was a big hit over the middle. Those are a wall of defenders in there. Andrew Mock was in there among others, and I didn't see who was the one that delivered the fatal blow there.
It was Mock.
It was Mock. Okay, there was 4 guys there. I couldn't tell, but Mock, and he's having himself a nice season. He's starting to establish himself a little bit here in his sophomore year.
So Miami only took him 4 plays, and they're out to the Florida 37 as Richardson airing it out to the right side. Woodard's got the open field and the early touchdown for the Hurricanes.
Well, as I mentioned, if they're going to win, it's going to be through the air. They can create space against the secondary. The secondary is capable of coming up with opportunistic plays, but over a long haul, I think you're going to have more success passing the running. Richardson does a great job there, finds Woodard, who turns it upfield, gets nice blocking downfield as well, and they take the early lead.
Well, we saw it, and we've seen it before. Both offenses, their opening drive, more just feeling out the defense, more of just let's get our offense into a flow, what's going to work. And the Miami, their second drive, they come out striking.
Well, they did, and Florida State did in the first game. They started off slow on the first drive, went 3 and out, and then they started to put it together. And we'll see what Florida does here on their second drive. If they were going to have an opportunity to feel things out, and if they start letting Matthias St. John throw the ball around a little bit, I think they can have success running the ball against this Miami defense, but it's got to be diverse.
Florida is able to get it out to the 30 thanks to Dakota Wolf, and they'll come out, play fake. St. John steps up, floats it down to the right side, and the pass is caught by Levi Timms, who takes it all the way out inside the Miami 35.
Well, I like that. They hit you with the big play, and you come back, first play, you hit them with one. It wasn't for a touchdown, but you're not going to cower and say, "Whoa, we're scared of you. We're just going to try to, run the ball here and play ball control." Like, all right, you want to get in a shootout? Let's go.
Well, we've talked about it. We've talked about how we've been waiting for Florida to really take the training wheels off of Matthias St. John and let him air it out, and so far, haymakers and haymakers are flying as St. John tucks it and runs for a first down.
Well, and that was probably just a little left hook there. That one wasn't the haymaker, but they come back with a nice shot there. They run it for the first down, and Florida's answering back nicely so far.
Out to the Miami 22. Read option keeper St. John in a foot race with David Ware, and Ware will stop him in the backfield for a loss of 1.
Ware had a good angle there, and that was the important part. So I don't know if he would beat him in a foot race, but he had the angle, and there just wasn't a lot that St. John could do. Even the cutback lane wasn't really there.
So Florida backs up a yard thanks to David Ware. 4 wide, trips bottom of the screen as St. John looks to throw, and he will go short to that right side. Finds Timms, who has really stepped up ever since he had that one play 74-yard touchdown against LSU a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he ends that game, and now that he becomes their focal point on offense.
Draw play for Bentley Jones as Jones has got a first down. The big running back picks up 11 and makes it 1st and goal.
Well, if you're going to run a delayed handoff, it's important to get good blocking, and then maybe not just go straight up the gut. He finds some room on the outside and does an excellent job moving the chains.
Out to the Miami 8. Receiver coming in motion from left to right. St. John, counter run. Jones tries to turn back upfield, and Isaac Trout brings him down for no gain.
If you're going to clear out the weak side of the formation, I don't have a problem with it, but don't run a counter. I mean, the counter is a misdirection, and I get it. You're trying to make them, we're loading up to go, but counters takes too long to develop. Hit them with the read option or something there. Just too long developing.
Hurricanes stack the boxes. St. John back corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Kellen Irvin.
Kellen Irvin's a guy that we haven't heard a lot from this season. He only had 6 catches coming into this game, but he gets his first touchdown. He's an explosive guy, 21.5 per catch, and he runs a nice route there, gets behind the defense. I don't know how they lost awareness of where he was, but excellent answer there by Florida to tie this game up.
7-play, 67-yard drive for the Gators to respond to the Hurricanes. And like I told you this before we got in here, that I had this sneaking suspicion that this game could turn into a shootout. And so far, it's looking like that's going to be the case all night.
Very well could be. You know, we've got one excellent defense in Florida State and one with some really good talent, even though they've given up some yards in Miami. But these two offenses have some explosive weapons as well. And if the defenses don't adjust here, we very well could see a track meet tonight.
So Miami brings this out to their own 33, and Richardson will come out going with a little wheel route there, finds Duncan. He had to stumble to make the catch, but it's a good chunk of yardage early here.
Yeah, starting off with a nice 7-yard pickup, and not just running the ball with Duncan, getting him out there in the open field, trying to spread out this defense.
Out of the gun, Richardson, as he brings the receiver Jay Nathaniel in motion. They use him as a decoy in that triple option, and Duncan gets a carry for a first down.
This is what Miami needs to do. They need to give you a lot of different looks, especially this Florida defense, which is really, really good. You keep them thinking about things, you make them a little bit late on their anticipation, and you create some holes.
Play fake, Richardson rolls right, finds Owsley just across the line of scrimmage, and he's able to pick up 7.
Well, they want the play fake there. There's nothing open downfield, so they take the check down, and Owsley does a good job picking up 7.
Handoff, Marcus Duncan finding running room off that left side as Andrew Mock is there to keep him from picking up more yards.
I don't know if you consider this a shootout,
No.
the way it's going, but they are moving the ball very effectively, and it's going to wear down this defense, and it's going to put pressure on the Florida offense.
Out to the Florida 38-yard line here as Nathaniel comes in motion. Richardson goes short to the left side, breaking a tackle is David Ware as he gets 6 yards.
The trend right now is 6 or 7 yards on first down every time on this drive, and Florida's got to adjust to that. You can't keep letting teams start off in 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4.
Receiver coming in motion is Woodard, and he will join Duncan and Richardson in the backfield. The speed option, and Woodard able to get it down inside the 20.
Owsley missed his block, and the quarterback paid the price, took a hit, but he was able to get that one off. You gotta pick up your blocks, because if they did, now they got a 2-on-1 downfield instead of the 1-on-1, which the tackle.
Miami's been running that triple option a little bit more on this drive, and to varying success. That one, really good run there for the Hurricanes, and here they give it to Duncan up the middle as Markevius Oswald is able to catch him from behind.
You're probably not getting away from that guy. They call that the meat and potatoes of the interior line, not because it's boring, but because that's literally all he eats is meat and potatoes, and that's where he gets his girth.
Midline read, Richardson got rocked by Wyatt King.
Well, Wyatt King, he's a fan of meat and potatoes, but he'll load up with some carbs and some protein powder and stuff like that, and maybe a little rocket fuel too.
There you go. He's got some pop to him as the Hurricanes stare down a 3rd and 7. Play fake, Richardson going over the middle, and the pass is caught by Owsley, but well short of the line to gain.
Well, he didn't get the first down. I'm still trying to figure out how he caught that, because he had 2 guys draped all over him. Nice job there, even though you didn't get the first.
28-yard field goal attempt here for Dakota Groza, and from that right hash, he's able to get the Hurricanes a 3-point lead.
He's 6 for 7 on the season now, so he converts the nice little short field goal. Not the ending that Miami wanted from the drive, but they got points out of it. And the key will be what Florida does here. Can they answer back with a touchdown of their own and say, all right, Miami, field goals aren't going to be enough? Or does Miami get them off the field or hold them to a field goal of their own?
Well, with the touchback, Florida will come out to their own 25 as Matthias St. John in the gun. Hand off, Bentley Jones outside to the right, and he's able to get to the edge as he stiff arms Isaac Kraut in the face, and Griffin Richardson will be able to stop him.
They did a good job of caravanning over there to make the tackle, but right now Florida's getting really good blocking on those outside runs.
Out of the gun. St. John wide receiver screen nearly intercepted and a missed opportunity by John Dowd.
Yeah, Dowd's got to come up with that. He's going to be seeing that in his sleep. That was 6 points written all over it. Not a good throw there by St. John, but he's fortunate to still have the ball.
3rd and 3, St. John going to the halfback screen. Here's Bentley Jones. A stiff arm, but he's a yard short of the first down. Great effort there by Joseph Hart.
Braxton Lee paid the price on that one.
Oh, yeah.
But he did slow him down enough that they were able to stop him. Don't like going to the halfback screen there. Maybe after the pick you're a little nervous there. I get it. But Miami got the stop they were looking for. They got an opportunity to take a two-score lead.
Blaze Gunner had an opportunity to big return, but he kept it a little too far inside.
And just don't get your hopes up, David. It's obvious. Saying. We saw it in the exhibition games. We saw a punt return. It was a purple unicorn, and we're probably not going to see another one for 7 seasons.
There you go. Handoff, Duncan outside to the right, and Wyatt King is there to drag him down to likely end the quarter.
Wyatt King's a purple unicorn of defenders.
That's how we end the first quarter. Miami's got the 3-point lead, but looking for a bigger lead. You're watching the CFSL on PX1 Sports on YouTube Live. We'll be back in just a moment. Start of the second quarter, Richardson to throw. Goes short, finds Owsley, and he takes a hard hit as he picks up 8.
They got one of those short third downs they wanted, 3rd and 2. So they got a lot of opportunities, especially with Richardson, who can run the ball, and then they got Duncan that they can give it to. They can also go with a little short slant or something like that. So a lot of options here, and that's what you want to do. And Miami's done a little bit better job of that so far in this game, of setting up short third downs versus what Florida's seen.
From the Florida 48.5-yard line as Richardson, read option keeper, Axon Richardson in a foot race, and he can't get there. The walk-on held him up, and that is what allowed Jordan Earp to make the stop.
That was indecisiveness there on Axon Richardson's part. He couldn't figure out where he wanted to go. He was a little too deliberate trying to figure out which lane he wanted to take, and wound up costing him the first down. Fumble there.
A muffed punt, and Kellen Irvin is able to fall onto it and avoid disaster for the Gators.
Well, we've seen that in 2 games tonight.
Yeah,
we saw that in the first game. It escapes me who, it's Youngblood fumbled it. Now Irvin, and starting your team back a little bit further back than they needed to.
Their own 17, St. John. Handoff, Jones outside to the right. Bentley Jones able to get across a 20 before he is met with a wall.
Well, right now, this offensive line of Florida is getting the push on these 3-star defenders up front for Miami, and that's allowing Bentley Jones to get outside. A lot of teams have struggled running the ball outside. Florida's not having that problem right now.
2 tight ends on the field here for the Gators, and they'll go with the midline read as St. John gets stopped by Braxton Lee, and yet somehow they're going to say St. John got a yard, but really he got maybe half a yard.
I thought maybe he lost a little bit. It was a good job there. Joseph Hart goes on the outside, forces him up the middle. He tries to keep it himself, and Braxton Lee does a good job of shutting it down.
2 tight ends on the field again. This time St. John trying to set up the halfback screen, and an all-out blitz by the Hurricanes buries St. John before he can even get out of his hands.
Well, for up-and-coming coordinators, when you call a play and there's 5 guys in the backfield before the quarterback can get the pass off, you called the wrong play. Just a little tip.
Well, I mean, they say, you're supposed to call up the halfback screen as a means of beating the blitz, but when the blitz beats the halfback screen, there's a problem.
Well, yeah, it just wasn't executed well at all.
So Blaze Gunner bringing this out from close to midfield, and the Florida special teams stops him at about the 40-yard line. So the Hurricanes, great field position and a great opportunity to add to a 3-point lead.
I picked Blaze Gunner in the first game to return a punt for a touchdown. He still hasn't got one yet. He's disappointing me.
Axon Richardson in the gun here, midline read of his own as he fights with big Barkevius Oswald to pick up 9.
Well, how does that happen? How does Barkevius Oswald get pushed back 8 yards by the quarterback? He must be getting tired.
Oh, or that, or the stiff arm into that.
I think he whispered in his ear, "I'll give you a Twinkie if you let me get some yards."
Playing some mind games is the read option keeper Richardson with a big run down inside the 20.
Right now, it looks like they're wearing out this Florida defense a little bit here. We're only early in the second quarter, but the run game's starting to pick up steam. And, you know, as we saw in the play before, they push Oswald back there. They get 14. Right now, maybe a little gassed is this Florida defense having to come out there so much before they're not doing anything on offense.
Midline read as Axon Richardson got caught from behind by J.R. Kent, and Erb helps bring him down as Richardson gets a medium gain there.
They might need to rotate some guys through because right now Miami's kind of doing whatever they want on this drive, running the ball. They don't even need to threaten with a pass.
Pistol set here, and the give to Marcus Duncan right up the middle, and he got clocked by King.
Wasn't that King?
Oh, it was
Wyatt
King.
I didn't see who it was at first. I thought maybe somebody else got it. Dinwiddie was in there too, but big hit by King, and they're starting to crack down. But again, a short third down, and Miami given a lot of options.
Strong eye to the left. Play fake. Richardson looking. Pressure got home. Kaysen Dinwiddie with a sack.
Yeah, that guy's he's a good ball player. He comes from Canada, you know, and he gets through this, pushes right through the poor lost soul that was assigned to block him. That was the backup tight end Cameron Wellen, and yeah, he didn't do a good job.
So the Florida defense, once again, Mike, like they have done all season, they find a way to get a stop. They hold Miami to a field goal, and it's only a 6-point lead. In Florida, we've talked about for the first majority of the first half of the season, grind it out in part because of the defense.
Well, right now your offense doesn't look tremendous, and so I think Miami's comfortable with the field goals right now because outside of the one drive, which was an answer to the Miami touchdown, they haven't done a whole lot. They're not answering these field goals. Now, it's obviously still early and there's a lot of time to go, but Florida's going to have to go deep into the book here and start throwing them some new wrinkles.
Well, they go again with Bentley Jones that side to the left this time, but Miami brought a blitz, so Jones will lose yardage.
That's another thing that a lot of teams do in this league is something starts working for them, they just feed it to death. And then the defense adapts. The idea is when you're having success, use it enough that it's having success, but throw in some other things that the defense doesn't focus on. And they're doing that a little bit too much here.
2nd and 14, receiver in motion is Irvin as he moves down into the slot at the top of the screen as they'll go with a halfback screen, and Bentley Jones with some blocking and a stiff arm to pick up the yardage that was lost and a little bit more. 3rd and 7.
Somebody launched themselves. I don't know if it was Braxton Lee or not. Somebody launched themselves into Bentley Jones late on this play. It was Lee. And he was like, don't stiff arm my guy. Mark Perry, you know, you're abusing him. And Lee just tries to, you know, shoot himself through his midsection.
So from the 37, St. John in the gun, motioning for the tight end Johnson from left to right as St. John to throw, 3-man rush. Goes short, finds the tight end Cam Johnson. Did he get there? Yes.
Yeah, he got it, and I agree with the spot there, but good Lord, you know, St. John's living dangerously, throwing short of the marker. And also those long third downs, you got to get out of that.
So out to the 45-yard line. Handoff, counter run. Bentley Jones got caught on the line, and then Pinnell was there to stop him in the backfield.
He had a little bit of room, but the tackle got pushed back. Or actually, it was the pulling guard. Got in his way a little bit and slowed him down.
So a long 2nd and 12 here for the Gators. Jones will take a breather on the sideline as St. John, 4-man rush, throws it downfield, and Pinnell came flying in like a rocket to bat it away.
You mentioned it early on in the game about the safeties here, Pinnell and Crowd. You don't want to lob any touch passes in. They got great closing speed, and you see it there.
So Bentley Jones is on the sideline, 4 wide here, trips top the screen, St. John to throw. Down to the right sideline, the pass is caught. Going to the house, Levi Timms.
Well, Timms has become the big play receiver.
I guess.
That 75-yarder in his first game of the season. It was the last play. Last play he gets on the field, he gets a 75-yard touchdown, and then he has just become the big play. Braden, or Kellen Irvin. I don't know why I get him and Braden Ennis confused. I don't know. There's really no. I don't know. Anyway, Kellen Irvin was the big play receiver. And Timms is just kind of taking that over this season.
Well, in Florida, you look at their offense, they've got talent all over the place at wide receiver. Kellen Irvin, Malik Harris, got Ty Patton still out there, and then you've got Levi Timms as well. Well, a lot of depth at wide receiver and talent.
Yeah, and that was another reason that it was so curious as to why they weren't quote unquote taking the training wheels off. Is they have a lot of weapons, and I mean St. John being in his 3rd season, it's time, you know, to go out there and throw the ball around. And right now it's Levi Thames' show, and everybody else is just sitting on the sideline with a ticket watching.
Coming into tonight, Matthias St. John had 1 touchdown pass. He's now got 2 here tonight as Richardson on the midline read. And Axon Richardson, look at the room he's got as John No drags him down at about the 46-yard line.
That play was almost like just line up and stay on your man and let him just run straight up the middle because everybody was blocked. Nobody was getting off their block. And, I mean, great job. Kudos to Miami there. I'm picking everybody up.
Just going to say you got out to the 47 where they go with another midline read. And Axon Richardson shakes off 1, fights through 2 more tackles as he picks up a new set of downs.
Florida definitely having a tough time tackling in this game. We saw Oswald go for a route ride. He missed that tackle. 3 missed tackles on that play. They got to fix that.
Richardson, counter run for Marcus Duncan to the left here, and he runs into Andrew Mock. Duncan thought he could get around him, and Andrew Mock said, nah.
Well, Mock is kind of an unheralded star in this league. You know, guys like Trout, Pinnell, and, you know, Brackett before him. Those kind of guys get the you know, a lot of the airtime, so to speak. But Mock has really established himself as one of the premier players.
From the gun, Richardson pumps right, has to tuck and a run, and the Florida defense able to crash down at the line of scrimmage.
Well, I thought the Canadian got in there again, but J.R. Kent and Wyatt King got in there. It came off of the edge, and he does a good job. He comes off the blitz on the edge. They weren't ready for him. Didn't what he must have been lined up inside, but good job of adapting and getting off your block and making that tackle.
Well, you mentioned him inside. Look at where Kaysen Dinwiddie is. He's at the middle of the defense here as Richardson over the middle himself finds Glenn Howard, but Howard had to come back to make the catch.
That's one thing I wish we could fix with these
officiating. Yeah, there you go, officials.
Give him the spot where they catch it. You know, his momentum was taken back. I hate that they don't get the first down.
51-yard field goal for Groza is good, and Miami's back out in front.
In the first game, you know, 49 plus was not good as it was a magnet for one of the uprights, but Groza doing a good job there of knocking that one home. Miami gets the lead again, and we're not getting the shootout that you
not like what I thought
prophesized, but it is a good back and forth ball game.
Kellen Irvin on the return, able to get close to the 20-yard line, and we'll take this time to give a shout out to everyone in the live chat. Got Rick, Dorian Cope, Tom Pence, Jacob Schneider, Anthony Richardson, Tyler Deathridge, Levi Timms, Matt Pack, Doug Oley, Wolf Mode, Kilowatts, Cajun Chris, Allie Peters, and anybody else that I might have missed, I apologize. Is St. John under center. They'll motion the fullback to set strong eye to the right. Jones gets a carry, and he'll lose a yard.
That one was destined to lose yards either way, because even if they went play action, they had a blitzer off the edge. Tyler there was going to get him on the play action unless he bit too hard on it. They got to open it up a little bit, the running, and being a little bit too predictable on first down, which is setting up those long third downs.
Second and 11, St. John counter run here. Bentley Jones. Good little gain there, 7 yards and a medium third down.
Yeah, it was a nice run there, but they're still seeing a 3rd and 5. You know, and it's not the worst thing in the world, but Miami's constantly seeing 3rd and 2s, 3rd and 3s, and Florida's constantly seeing 3rd and 5, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 9.
Yeah. They'll come out 4 wide, trips, top the screen, St. John going to the halfback screen, able to just get off. Bentley Jones cannot get to the first down marker, courtesy of Braxton Lee.
Well, I have another tip for those aspiring offensive coordinators. When you run a play and it gets blown up with 5 defenders back there before you can even get the throw off, don't run it again on your next third down.
So the punt is away. Blaze Gunner. Decent return here. Gets out to about the 43-yard line. And this Miami offense been very balanced, mixing in the run and the pass, giving Florida a lot of different looks to think about. Problem is, outside their second drive, they haven't been able to come away with more than field goals.
Yeah, and it could be a game where that comes back to bite them. Right now, they're leading, and Florida's offense doesn't really threaten them, so it's okay.
Well, Richardson goes up the middle, and he might feel threatened as Wyatt King launched into him.
He's already got 8 tackles and a couple for a loss. He's been up there a couple of times for Player of the Week. Looks like he's due for another one.
Miami takes their first time out of the night as they come back with an empty backfield. Richardson runs, and he runs into Kaysen Dinwiddie for a sack.
Hey, I'm pretty good, eh? Dinwiddie getting off the edge there. And, we talked about it earlier. You don't want to rush, or you don't want to scramble to that side. You got Dinwiddie, who forced him into the sack by Oswald earlier. Now Dinwiddie just sheds the block and comes away with the sack on his own there. And now finally Florida has forced Miami into a long third down.
Well, and you look at it, Miami on third down tonight, they're only 1 of 6, so even the short third downs really haven't helped them too much. As Richardson looking, taking a shot to the right side, and a one-handed grab by Jay Nathaniel all the way down to about the 20.
That was an excellent catch, and one that almost didn't happen, as Barkevius Oswald pushed his guy about 10 yards back into the pocket, and Richardson just got that off in a tremendous catch there by Nathaniel.
John O was the first guy there, and then Wyatt King, Andrew Mock rally, and so Miami able to convert on third down for the second time tonight, and they move it all the way down to the Florida 19, 1:20 to play in the half. Handoff, Duncan to the right side, fighting through tackles, Marcus Duncan scores.
I think that one-handed catch just took the wind out of Florida's defense there temporarily, and Marcus Duncan capitalized on it by punching that one in. Now Florida's got an opportunity that they have to answer, and we haven't seen that much. We've seen a couple of big plays that they came up with, but they really haven't been able to do a whole lot outside of that.
Well, they're now trailing by 9.
And they don't have a lot of time left either, so I guess you dial up Levi Temps again.
The big play expert, Dakota Wolf, looking for a big return to try and help his quarterback, and he's not going to get it. He only gets out to about the 22. I kind of wondered, with all the weapons that Florida has at wide receiver, and it's not to say that Dakota Wolf is a bad returner, just wonder why they haven't explored more options.
Well, Wolf has returned some. I think that's why, but might need to get his eyes checked because he could have ran to the outside. Oh, my goodness.
Well, they're going to open the drive with a halfback screen instead of ending the drive with one, and this time St. John's able to get the pass out, and it is incomplete as he throws it away.
The new Florida offense looks like the old Florida offense now.
Ball spotted at the 23-yard line, 2nd and 10. St. John looking to throw. 3-man rush, tucks it, runs. Matthias St. John slides under Purnell, but he does make it a short third down.
Yeah, well, the biggest thing is you don't want to turn it over.
Right.
So, not a bad idea to slide there, but you're going to have to get this first down and start using your timeouts, which surprisingly they haven't used yet.
Single back set for the Gators. 2 tight ends on the field as St. John, the give to Jones. Outside to the right, Bentley Jones. Good hard run as he picks up 14, and now the Gators will take their first.
You can catch somebody off balance there because they're not expecting you to run there, but now you're going to still have to air it out here to at least get a field goal.
St. John in the gun, looks. Going to tuck it and run. Matthias St. John fights with Ware, gets 5. Another timeout called by the Gators.
It's a pointless run there. You don't get outside, so you waste the timeout. You only get 5. You need way more than that to get a field goal. I don't like that.
Receiver coming in motion, Malik Harris. He's in the slot, top the screen. St. John going halfback screen. And here's Bentley Jones, turn up field, able to get a first down out across the 45-yard line. 10 ticks on the clock.
We're going to have to spike it here, hopefully. Well, they're just going to snap it.
Snapping it into the tired hands of Matthias St. John as he stands in. 2-man rush. Tucks it and runs, and he lost the football, and Miami recovers to end the half.
St. John's really going to have to turn his play around in the second half for Florida to compete. Otherwise, we're going to see the home team in this series win the 4 straight.
And that would mean that Florida would lose their first game of the season, putting the Gators and Hurricanes both at 3-1 in conference. And that means the top spot in the SEC is going to get really clogged because Auburn beat Miami.
Well, we suspected that anyway. And Clemson lost to Auburn.
Yeah.
Now suddenly Auburn is positioning themselves at the top, which a couple weeks ago nobody thought.
Well, as we go into the studio and into halftime, Florida, their offense has been about what it was for the first 3 games of the season. Have a few big plays here and there, but for the most part, really trusting the defense to grind it out. And Miami's come up with some big plays of their own.
They have. They've been more explosive. They've been more dynamic. They've been more proficient on early downs. Even though they haven't been great on third downs, they've at least set themselves up with short third downs. Florida, on their hand, is mostly relying on big plays, which they aren't taking a lot of shots on. And they're they're not they're calling really bad plays, too many screens. There's a lot of discombobulation on them from the Florida offense, and they got to really figure that out in the second half.
I mean, look at the two offenses. The passing games are similar. What's really the difference right now is Miami is finding a lot more success in the running game than what Florida is, and part of that is because Florida, when they draw up a run, it goes backwards more often than not.
Well, it has been. They had some early success, especially with those outside runs, but they're just been too predictable, and Miami's adapting, and Florida's going to have to adapt now. They got themselves on a little bit of a hole, and they're going to have to change some things up here in the second half.
Well, to start the first half, Florida will start with the football, and an opportunity here to try and cut into this 9-point lead. Wolf will nail it in the end zone for a touchback, so St. John will go to work at the 25-yard line. At this point, you'd like to see them open up with a shot downfield, right?
Maybe not against this defense. It looks like it's better before, which you can take shots with.
St. John to throw, steps up, and he will throw it away. The pass rush nearly got home. Good decision by St. John.
Yeah, better to throw it away than try to force something and give it up. You still got to get better play calls there. You got to do a better job of recognizing what the defense is doing.
Well, the defense showing blitz here. They bring it at St. John, runs the triple option right into it.
And that's what I'm saying about you got to make better decisions there. You see him blitzing off the edge. You got to know that you're going to run into the teeth of the blitz. Unless he just takes a bad angle or bites on it, it's not going to work. And once again, you're in a long third down.
3rd and 13 for the Gators. 4 wide, trips, top the screen. Single receiver was Malik Harris. St. John got a little happy feet, jump ball on the sideline, and it's picked off by Mark Perry.
Well, they're going to review it, I think, to see if he got his foot down. It looked good in real speed. We'll take another look at it here. I don't think he got his feet down according to that. Oh, it's not a great angle. Either way, not a well-advised pass there. Just St. John's just not looking good. Well, they're not even going to look at it.
They're not going to take another look at it. So
I'm sure Florida's going to scream they got screwed, but I mean, you're punting anyway.
So from the Florida 45-yard line, Duncan runs through one defender, and he gets it out to the 40.
Well, Miami with an excellent chance here to put this game not necessarily away, but a touchdown can make it a 16-point game. And the way Florida's offense is playing right now, that's probably enough.
From the gun, Axton Richardson, the give on the read option. Nowhere to go.
Well, I like that they're running away from Dinwiddie and Oswald, but Kent and company are doing a good job on the other side, coming up with that one. Obviously, Earp gets it there, so they're doing a good job. They force the medium third down, too.
Richardson, 3-man rush, dancing, throwing in the comeback route, and he completes it for Blaze Gunner.
Oswald does a good job. He's pushing the pocket and got pressure again, but another good throw by Axton Richardson. Good catch by his receiver.
Richardson's been perfect tonight, 11 of 11. We saw Matthias St. John go 16 of 16 a couple weeks ago.
Well, and he only threw one completion last week, and apparently the magic has run out.
It seems to have.
The magic spell has passed.
Duncan gets the carry at a hard-fought 8 yards for him.
And he's having himself a nice game, 5.9 per carry, kind of doing exactly what he's been doing all season. And surprisingly, I didn't think they'd have this much success running the ball, but I think they've just worn down this defense. And, the lack of success by the Florida offense is contributing.
Hand off to Woodard, and he got rocked by Wyatt King.
Well, there's one guy that's never going to quit playing and quit playing hard on this defense, and it's Wyatt King. And he gets his 10th tackle game, 3rd for a loss. And, unless something strange happens, I don't see how he's not going to wind up with a Player of the Week candidacy after this game.
Duncan gets a carry and the first down for the Hurricanes with their odd-looking goose.
It's not a goose. It's an ibis. It's some kind of fowl.
It's a poultry geist? Is that it?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was a foul.
Richardson to throw. The left sideline finds Owsley down inside the 10.
Owsley's one of those guys I thought we were going to see a lot more from. He has made great plays like that, and he hasn't really broken open as a feature part of this offense as the run game's really dominated.
Read option keeper Oswald can't bring him down. Dinwiddie will, though, down to the 4.
He's not, a lot of these guys, they have the earpiece in or whatever to listen to what we're saying. Richardson's not one of those guys. He's not listening to us. I keep telling him, that's not the side you want to run to.
Second and goal for the Hurricanes. Duncan in the backfield and to the left. The give, Marcus Duncan got popped by King at the 1.
Well, if there's ever been a player that we need to suspend for being mean on the field, it's Wyatt King. He is being extraordinarily unfriendly to the Miami ball carriers.
11 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss for Wyatt King so far here tonight. Third and goal from the 2. Isaac Kraut checks into the backfield, probably because Marcus Duncan is in a blue 10 as Kraut cannot get in.
Well, and they had Dinwiddie lined up on the line. Kraut not able to get in. Dinwiddie was lined up like almost as a nose tackle.
Yeah.
And he comes across and makes that tackle. Great play there by the Florida defense.
Chip shot field goal here for Groza. It's from 18 yards away, and Miami now a 12-point lead.
An 80-yard field goal?
It would have been.
That would be a record.
That would be a chip shot for sure.
Well, an 80-yard extra point would also be.
That would be something else.
How does that even happen? That would be a lot of penalties there. There would probably be a lot of
false starts.
But a lot of butt chewing going on the sideline too.
I'm sure. First down and 10 for the Gators. Ball spot at their own 25. Their defense keeping it within reach as best they can. And the handoff to Jones. Not doing a whole lot up the middle.
No. The last few drives stalled out, and I think that played into the drive for Miami. The Florida defense is wearing down a little bit. They got to get a little bit more creative. And again, Thames or Irvin, they need to dial up on the outside. St.
John goes short, and he will find, I believe it's Timms over there to get the first down.
Well, he's over 100 yards now, so he's having himself a nice game. Matthias St. John, 6 incompletions, almost as many as he had the entire season coming in.
First down and 10 for the Gators from their own 41. Read option keeper St. John able to pick up the first down as John Dowd keeps him from getting more than the 12 he got.
Well, we saw him last week against Auburn. He kind of put the game on his back late and ran away with it. So there's an opportunity for him to still pull Florida back in this thing.
Well, Bentley Jones gets the carry here on first down, and he gets 10 yards. So Florida, the recommitment to the running game right now on this drive, it's paying off.
It is, and it can wear down this Miami defense. And I think that's really what they need to try to do.
They're going to empty out the backfield here, but bring Jones in motion for the speed option, the pitch. Bentley Jones fights forward as he stumbles down inside the 25.
I have no idea how he got that pitch off. That had to be some Jedi mind trick or something, as there was a great angle taken there, but he still somehow got it to Bentley Jones.
From the 25, quick pass, goes short, finds Harris, who gets 3.
Harris is another one of those guys that we thought we were going to see a lot from, and he only had 10 catches coming in. If this team threw it 35 times a game, I think they could put up a lot of yards.
2 tight ends on the field here for Florida as St. John, read option keeper, stopped in the backfield by Rex Tyler.
Again, going to it one too many times. Tyler getting his 3rd tackle for loss in this game, and that's the one thing that Florida hasn't been good about, is just realizing when Miami's adapted and striking with something different before they stop him for a loss.
3rd and 10. Cam Johnson, the tight end motion from right to left to pick up the blitz as it comes. St. John thrown for the end zone, broken up. Great coverage by Mark Perry.
Yeah, he almost had his 2nd interception there, and just not a good throw there. You're throwing it one-on-one. He threw it a little too late for really a jump ball. St. John just really doesn't look right tonight.
A 41-yard field goal attempt here for Anthony Ammon. It is good, and so Florida pulls within 9.
A 9's not divisible by 7, unfortunately. So they're going to need to get some touchdowns, because I don't think field goals are going to get the job done.
Blaze Gunner bringing this one out of zone, end zone, and not a great return by any stretch. He stopped short of where he would have been had he kneeled it, and so it's first down for a Miami team.
Well, now we're going to see a little bit longer drive there by Florida. Is this defense refreshed a little bit?
Play fake, Richardson in the face of the blitz, and he's able to find Owsley, who breaks a tackle. Matthew Owsley down the left sideline, pushed out of bounds at the Florida 37.
That was an excellent job there by Axon Richardson as they brought the house, and he stood there and was just able to get it off before Earp hit him, and then Owsley breaks the tackle And a good job here. I think it was Dakota Wolf. Yeah, Dakota Wolf was on the turf and was able to get up and chase him down. That's excellent job there by both Axon Richardson and Matthew Owsley.
All the way down to the Florida 37. Richardson in the gun, 2 tight ends. Midline read for Richardson. And he gets stood up after he picks up a couple yards.
Erpa's coming in and established himself as they are trying to go to the left a little bit more and avoid Dinwiddie on the other side. But Erp and Mock even are really doing a good job of adapting.
Richardson gets a 3-man rush, goes over the middle, and Marcus Duncan able to slip out of Wyatt King's tackle to get the first down. Not quite the first down.
No, they didn't quite get it. They're still missing a few too many tackles, and Richardson's still perfect. He saw what St. John did, and he's like, I can beat that.
I'll do it too, Florida, as Florida brings a blitz, and Marcus Duncan able to push for the first down against Barkevius Oswald.
I think that's just a byproduct of this defense being worn down, because Oswald should not get pushed back by that. And I get it, Duncan's a big, strong ball carrier, but I mean, you weren't seeing that early on in this game, and I think this Florida defense has just been on the field too much, too long in drives and not getting enough rest.
Wide receiver screen and just able to complete. Jay Nathaniel fighting to get to the end zone, but he's pushed out of bounds at about the 6.
Dakota Wolf usually is going to knock that away, if not pick it off, and just looked lost out there, just looked lazy. Can't get off of his block, slips the tackle. I definitely think fatigue. Miami's done a good job of just wearing down this defense and keeping them on the field, and it's showing right now.
First and goal from about the 6-yard line as the give to Isaac Kraut, breaks a couple tackles as Dinwiddie catches him. It is a gain of 2, though, for Kraut.
Well, and Kraut often gets a few more carries than that,
yeah.
And that's just showing what a good job they've done spreading the ball around. They haven't wore out Duncan, and now they got an opportunity to make this a 16-point game again.
Duncan back in the backfield. They give it to him. Marcus Duncan, he's got the touchdown for Miami.
Yeah, Cork was the one that tackles him in the end zone. He was just a little late. That was kind of the story of the drive there for Florida. They're just a little late. Miami's a little fresher, holding blocks a little bit longer. Florida's missing tackles, and they get the touchdown there. Now St. John's really got to find what he found last week against Auburn and put this team on his back and lead them to a comeback. Florida
trailing by 16. Now inside of 2 minutes of play here in the third and another quarter to go. So Florida's got time, but a couple things have to happen. This Florida offense, they've got to be able to generate points, generate some momentum, and find a rhythm. And this defense, maybe even more importantly, they got to start finding a way to generate stops, if not turnovers.
The Florida defense?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. The Florida defense is, they're just like I said, they're going to at least need a long drive here. The rest of that defense, it looks completely gassed.
St. John to throw, comes back to the left side, and that pass broken up on the sideline. Excellent, excellent coverage by pressing.
St. John's taking too many risks. He's throwing a lot into coverage. He's not finding open guys. And just their play calling, they're just not doing a good job of finding open guys.
Bubble screen to the left side here, and able to pick up that first down is Ty Penton. So a little bit in the easier pass, get some of St. John's confidence back maybe.
Well, they haven't used a lot of those constraint plays outside of a halfback screen, so they do a good job. They catch them with it there. Now you're going to start to loosen up the defense.
The gun, draw play. Jones works the right side of the defense, gets a modest gain.
And that's kind of what you want to do. I don't like the draw play there. I wish you would have just went with an inside zone. But you stretch them out a little bit with the bubble screen. Then you go to a run. Now you got them stacked in the box. Now you hit them deep.
3 wide, 2nd and 6. St. John, hand off to the walk-on at tailback, trying to bounce it outside to the left, and he's able to do so. Gets a pretty good gain out of it for his efforts, and it's 3rd and 4.
For a walk-on, he fought really well there, and he was really trying to pick up some yardage there. But I think he missed an opportunity to try to go deep.
4 wide here. Hand off. Jones outside to the left, and the Miami defense was ready and waiting.
Well, it was a little bit longer drive, but again, they're going to punt. I still don't know if the defense is well rested. They're also going to be a little frustrated that, they're trying to do what they can, but they keep getting put on the field. And again, with the Miami opportunity to take the lead. And, we talked about Clemson earlier on this week having not played the strongest level of competition. Now, granted, Florida played Auburn and beat them and wound up beating them by 2 scores, but this game they don't look like a team that's undefeated.
So Miami out to their own 36-yard line. Richardson in the gun as Jay Nathaniel comes in motion to join him in the backfield. Triple option. Richardson breaks a tackle, breaks a second tackle, and then Tanner Quirk has to be the one to catch him all the way down to the Florida 39.
Great play by Richardson, and he's just doing what he's been doing all season long. Florida still struggling to ramp up and make solid tackles, and he's making them pay. I mean, they're already almost in field goal range, early on in this drive.
First and 10, two backs in the backfield. Crout and Duncan, play fake. Richardson over the middle, and Woodard cannot hold on.
Well, that's his first incompletion, too, and it's not his fault. He throw his first incompletions on a drop pass, a perfectly catchable ball with nobody around you.
From the gun, Richardson, draw play. Duncan bottled up by Dinwoody, loss of 2 and a long third down.
Well, Dinwoody gets in there along with Kent, and they create a little bit of pressure. I think it was Dinwoody basically playing defensive tackle there that was able to break that one up.
So 3rd and 12, 5 ticks left in the third quarter. Halfback screen for the Hurricanes, and Isaac Kraut fights but cannot get anywhere close to the first down, and we end the third quarter. Hurricanes up by 16, looking to add to it. You're watching CFSL on PX1 Sports on YouTube Live. So with the change in the quarter, Miami will not kick a field goal. They will instead punt it, likely due to some wind here as that punt bounces through the end zone for a touchback.
Well, it wasn't wind. There is almost no wind blowing here. I think it was just a decision. We're up by 16. Florida's offense isn't doing anything. Even if we get into it at the 20, I mean, the odds are in your favor that you're going to get the ball back.
Miami showing blitz. They bring it as Jones on the counter run had nowhere to go.
And it's just, rinse and repeat with this Miami defense,
I mean,
and also kind of rinse and repeat with the Florida offense. Yeah, it's just, they've been way too predictable in their play calling every drive, and Miami is just too good to beat them with that.
Hurricanes showing blitz, handoff, Jones running left, tries to cut it back inside, gets 5 yards, so 3rd and 6 for a Gators team who is fighting hard to remain unbeaten.
They are. I mean, they're fighting, but unfortunately, they look like they might be outgunned.
4 wide, St. John to throw. Blitz off the edge. Going to the left side, and a wide open Kellen Irvin. Irvin trying to turn on the Jets down the left sideline, and he gets it all the way out to the 30.
They need more of that. I don't know where that's been in their repertoire tonight. They bring the corner blitz, and St. John does a good job of finding them wide open over there. And he's able to turn on the Jets, not able to accelerate quite fast enough as he gets run down from behind. But they need more of that. They need to find ways to get big plays and tire out this defense.
Bentley Jones takes a breather as St. John to throw. He'll tuck it around. Matthias St. John slides under Griffin Richardson, and it looks like St. John's been saving his legs for the fourth quarter.
Well, if anybody's rested on the offense, it's probably him. He hasn't run the ball a whole lot. He needs to get Mark Schneider out there, that walk-on tight end, to block for him.
St. John, he's going to tuck it and run again. He's got the first down, sliding under pressing.
Yeah, I don't like that he was holding the ball out there so high like that. That was a little dangerous. But they're inside the 20. They're allowing their defense to rest a little bit. You really got to punch this one in here, though.
Handoff, Jones trying to bounce it outside to the left, slips a tackle, cannot get away from second, and so it'll cost the Gators a yard.
Hart got in there before Lee and just slowed him down. The whole close, I mean, impressively, it's like, oh, let me try to go the other way. But I think he probably would have been best served just putting his head down and trying to power through it.
So Florida on a failed first down, going to empty out the backfield on 2nd and long, but walk-on comes in motion. Triple option. Oh, no, the read option. The RPO. And Tyler Wilson gets 5.
Well, I mean, that wasn't you were a little excited for that 5-yard
pass.
Well,
it's a little,
little trickeration a little bit, but they still got a longer third down here.
A little exuberance. 3rd and 6. St. John going halfback screen to the walk-on. And the walk-on's got some blocking, slips a tackle, gets 3. Would you go for it?
You have to. There's no question. The field goal does you no good.
Florida will heed the words of wisdom by Mike Peters as they keep the offense out there. 4 wide, trips top the screen. St. John to throw. Throws to the middle, pass caught by Malik Harris for a first down.
Waited a little bit long on it, let him into traffic, but Harris does a good job of holding on to it. Now we got to see if maybe Jones has the legs to punch this one in.
He is in the backfield from the gun, St. John. The give to Jones, touchdown Florida.
Only a second rushing touchdown of the season, but that's what you need out of him. He got this first one last week and then gets this one here late in this game. So they still got to get a 2-point conversion. That's been the thing that a lot of teams have struggled with this season.
Well, Florida will take their chances here in the gun, 3 wide. St. John to give, Jones had nowhere to go.
I actually like that. I like running it there. A lot of teams pass and they try to run it, but David Ware just too quick, read the play and stuffed it. So now they're down by 10, so now they're going to need a field goal and a touchdown.
Decent return by Blaze Gunners. He slips a couple tackles out to about the 31. So 6:13 to play. You mentioned field goal, need a touchdown.
Field goal.
Well, field goal. Maybe Florida could use a field goal to get some
Yeah,
motivation going too.
Yeah, if that entices them to be more creative on offense, why not?
Receiver comes in motion, a little jet sweep there to lose a yard. Florida could also stand to come up with a couple turnovers.
Well, one turnover would help them for sure. Miami's been very good at protecting the ball. Even a 3-and-out here would be okay because their defense is a little worn out from that last drive.
2nd and 11, Richardson, the give to Duncan outside to the right, and Barkevius Oswald able to shoot the gap and make the stop.
See what happens when you get your defense rested up? The big man goes blowing through there and taking Duncan down for a loss. Now they got him on a long 3rd down and a very good chance of getting him off the field here and forcing the 3-and-out.
3rd and 14, but the Hurricanes come out 4 wide, 2-by-2 set. Richardson to throw. 3-man rush, rolling right, takes a shot down the middle of the field into double coverage, and Andrew Mock knocks it down.
I like what they did. Even though they didn't convert it, they didn't just throw a screen and hand it off. They went 4 verts. They tried to push it downfield. Just excellent coverage by the Florida defense.
So a 3-and-out by the Gators defensively. It's exactly what the doctor ordered for Florida as upon his way in Irvin from inside his own 35. Trying to direct traffic a little bit as he gets across midfield.
Well, they got great field position here. So they can put another drive together, ideally to touchdown. So then the field goal is the only thing that you need late. But you're not going to get much better field position than this.
4 wide, trips, top the screen. St. John open things up, handoff Bentley Jones. And Jones pushes Isaac Crowd out of his way as he gets 9.
Well, they took him down. I thought he got pushed forward and was going to get the first, but they spotted him short. The one thing you don't want to do here is put together a really long drive, especially with the field position. Strike quick because there's no guarantee you're going to keep Miami from scoring.
Empty backfield. Jones comes in motion. Read option keeper Matthias St. John outside to the right, has some blocking. Maybe cut back in a little too soon as he gets 7.
I think he lost the handle on that ball. You saw him reach back and grab it, kind of pin it against his midsection. Got to protect the ball here for sure.
1st down and 10, St. John the give. Jones outside to the left. Bentley Jones fighting hard, gets 5 yards, and that'll put him up over 100 for the 4th time in the span of 5 weeks.
Well, they're moving the ball pretty well here. I still think they're taking a little bit too much time because, again, if Miami drives the ball and even gets a field goal, now you need a touchdown and you need some time left.
Draw play, Jones a 1st down and a whole lot more as he gets it down to the 15.
Great run there by Jones. Now's the time I wouldn't mind seeing taking a shot or two into the end zone. See if you can get the touchdown. Obviously, you don't want to turn it over, but come up with some plays here where you maybe go for that back pylon.
2 tight ends on the field, one of them in motion from left to right, 2 wide, top the screen. St. John to throw. He's going to take a run, able to evade the defensive end, and Joseph Hart gets 6.
Well, he paid the price for it, too, and he's in danger of losing the ball. I don't know why he took off a run. He put a nice little move there on Hart, who was sitting in contain, but then he took a hard hit there, and they're continuing to run time off the clock here, and which is going to set up a more likely scenario that Miami can get the ball back and run it out.
Down to the 9. 4 wide, but all receivers are in tight to the formation. St. John to throw. to the middle of the field. Coming back for it was Harris, and he cannot get the first down. 3rd and 1.
Good guy to go to. Nice little possession guy over the middle there. Got some giant arms on it, just noticing. Good Lord. He's been working out with that McFadden guy in Ohio.
Single back set. Tight end in motion for a 2 tight end set. 5-step drop, St. John with time. Tucks it, runs, Matthias St. John, touchdown Florida.
Schneider got the block on that one. He was open in the flats. St. John didn't go to him. Then he takes off and runs, and Schneider seals it for him. St. John able to run it in for his 6th rushing touchdown of the season. Now it's a 3-point game. The downside of this, taking as much time as he did on that drive, is you've got to get Miami off the field. You've got to get a 3 now. Had you scored quickly, Miami could get a field goal and you're okay. Now you can't let Miami move the ball.
3:25 to play in the 4th. Florida trailing by 3. Gunner returning this from his own 1. Blaze Gunner able to advance it out across to the 31, and that is where the Hurricanes will look to go back to work. And as he said, Florida, now they need a stop, and they need a quick one.
Well, watch out for Blaze Gunner, because if they want to take a shot and kind of put this game away, that's the guy, and he's lined up at the bottom of the screen.
Hand off, Duncan cuts it back up field. He'll get 7.
You also got to watch out for this guy, too. You don't want to let him keep churning out 5-6 yards of carry and run out the clock.
Wyatt King records his 12th tackle of the night as Miami been very much ground and pound tonight. 41 runs to just 18 passes here for the Hurricanes as they'll go back to Marcus Duncan, and Duncan able to squeak out a first down.
I mentioned it in the first game. If you give up 3 or less on the first play, high percentage that you get them off the field in scenarios when they're running out the clock. You just keep giving up 5-6 yards on first down, you're not going to do it.
Florida showing blitz here on 1st and 10. Handoff, and a big run for Duncan as he gets 7 yards, and the Gators take their first time out.
And I have a feeling they're going to get another first down on this drive. Florida's going to be out of timeouts and out of hopes, I think, here.
Handoff, Duncan, a first down again as Oswald catches him. Gain of 6. Another timeout called.
Well, they got 1 timeout left. If they're going to do something, they got to do it now. They've let way too much time come off the clock and let them move the ball way too much.
Florida showing blitz. Marcus Duncan, a big run here as he gets another first down. Florida's out of timeouts, 1:50 to play.
Theoretically, Miami could just run out the clock here. It doesn't look like they're going to, but they could if they wanted to.
33, the give to Isaac Kraut. Kraut gets stopped in the backfield.
Well, you know, why not wait until you have no timeouts left and almost no time on the clock to finally get a stop on a first down?
So Miami keeping their offense out there, not going for the victory formation, but Duncan's going to get the carry, and he got bottled up.
Well, they still got 40 seconds left, and so theoretically, they could kneel the ball, let the time run out on 4th down, but yeah, they're not doing it.
Not doing it.
Interesting decision here. I don't really know quite why they're doing this.
Richardson, the give. Marcus Duncan outside to the left, not going to get there, but the Hurricanes are in field goal range.
Well, they can just let the time run out. I mean, they gave Florida an opportunity to try to strip that ball and get it back. I don't think they're going to kick this. Well done by Miami.
Yeah.
I mean, they would be dumb to kick this here, but I mean, it was a close game. Florida fought back, but just too much dinking around early in the first half, and it cost them late.
So that is how we end tonight, as Florida is no longer unbeaten, meaning there's only one undefeated team left in the league.
2 nights and 2 undefeateds have fallen. Now we got to wait till the end of the week to see if the last one can reign supreme. But good job by the underdogs. Well, actually, Miami was favored in this game, but the non-undefeateds knocking off the powers.
We've got 2 more great games coming to you tomorrow night. The Michigan Wolverines and the Oregon Ducks will square off from Outson Stadium in a very critical Big Ten showdown. Then we have a non-conference game tomorrow night as the Alabama Crimson Tide go on the road to take on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Should be a couple of good games, I think. I know that first game, those guys have struggled a little bit, but I do think it's going to be a good game. Both of those teams, much like the first game, Florida State and LSU, fighting to turn their seasons around. And then Notre Dame has looked really good lately. They're positioning themselves to try to win that conference and get back into the playoffs.
So for Mike, I'm David. You've been watching the CFSL on PX1 Sports on YouTube Live. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time over on Twitch TV for the Michigan Wolverines and the Oregon Ducks to kick off Wednesday night. We'll see you then.